This is going to be a bracing series. The whole idea of this series here is to teach you how to use your diaphragm in conjunction with your trunk, your torso, to help you create better rigidity, right? So the idea here is creating a better bracing strategy and utilizing our diaphragm to help us hunker down and really brace and stabilize. The idea here is really focusing on utilizing our breath, and as we use our breath, that diaphragm expands into our belly. So notice when Troy here really focuses on pushing his belly out through his breath, it's not like he's giving himself an automatic beer gut. What's actually happening here is the diaphragm is expanding down into the belly, down into the hips even, and we're creating a moment of intra-abdominal as well as intra-pelvic pressure here. So as Troy inhales and expands, the belly comes nice and big, and what we're doing here is the diaphragm's expanding out into the belly, laterally out towards the ribs, and also back into the spine to create bracing and rigidity, which is exactly what we want to utilize when we're lifting, when we're moving, whatever we're doing throughout the day. We want to be able to utilize our torso and stabilize through that. The first cues here is I have Troy in a hook lying position, meaning that we have the ball under his legs. The reason why I like to start out in this position is the lowest hanging fruit. We can get the hips in a neutral position here, and then from here I want Troy to really focus on bringing his ribs down into his torso. And this is just going to help him better connect to rectus and engage his trunk musculature. And the first thing we're going to start off with is just a flow of breath. So I'll tell Troy, put one hand on your belly, place one hand on your chest, and just find your breath here. And I just want you to observe really how you're breathing, where we're holding tension, and this just brings awareness to the breath so we can better focus on what the diaphragm is doing here. Right? So most people are have this tendency to shoulder breathe, just really upper tension. So what I want Troy to really utilize here is the diaphragm to expand down into the belly. The next cue I like to give is I like to say, think about pulling shoulders away from your ears, right? And then continue to breathe. And usually when I give this cue, it's a lot easier to engage that belly breath. So when you breathe, it should be belly rises, chest rises, and then we exhale. So a natural flow of breath looking something like what Troy's doing, right? So just a natural breath. There we go. Right, and then again, ribs are down. Yep. Low back is grounded. Yep, and then we're gonna bring the knees up a little bit higher, right there, just like that. That's perfect. Okay, so now, once he gets the hang of the breath here and I can see that he's keeping a good position, we're gonna go breathe in, and when we breathe in, I like to place hands right down into the hips. What we're doing here is we're teaching Troy how to utilize intra-abdominal and intra-pelvic pressure, right? Intra-abdominal pressure, filling the belly, making that belly nice and big with the diaphragm expanding down, taking it a level further into the hips and having him breathe through a big inhale and then really pushing, hunkering down, bracing, pushing my fingers out with the bracing, and then exhaling and letting it go. So inhale and brace, exhale and let go. Right? All the while he's keeping the cues, the ribs down, low back's connected, neck is neutral, breathe in, yep, and then brace at the very top, push, 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 and then exhale and let it go. Right? So for each sequence, we're taking about 4 breaths. So really big breath in here. As you breathe in, brace, brace, push my fingers out, push, 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 and then exhale and let go. So if he's doing this on his own, right, something I'll have him do is I'll just be like, okay, make C's with your hands and place them right into your hips, right where I'm feeling, right? So you make C's like so, just like this, and then the front part of the C, this part of your fingers will be into your hips like that, right? So you're just cupping the hips, yep, and then you're just pushing right down there into the hips. You feel that? And you do it on your own now. So now I want you to inhale and brace and really focus on pushing right into here. And then push out into your fingers. And then now this next part of the series, we're gonna double brace, right? So inhale and exhale with the brace on. So big inhale, push out into your fingers, and exhale, keep that brace on as best as you can. Once you exhale as much as you can, go right into that next breath, take even a bigger breath here. Really breathe in, push even harder, right into that next breath, and as you exhale, keep that brace on. Good, ribs are staying down, low back is grounded, right into that next sequence here. Big breath in, yep, neck is neutral. neutral, and exhale. Right, so you notice here as Troy's inhaling, he wants to cock his neck up and then throw that neck out of alignment. So keep that neck neutral. Inhale, ribs are down. Good, and exhale. Let's go one more breath on this, right? Give me good positions here. Neck is neutral, ribs are down. Big breath in, all the way to the very top. Brace. Exhale, keep the brace on. Keep it on all the way, and let it go. Okay, so now we're gonna go legs unsupported, right? And then from here, now we're gonna use that same sequence that we just did, only now the legs are unsupported, so he has to work more on the hip flexors, right? So same deal here. 4 breaths, ribs in a good position. We're breathing and bracing during both the inhale and the exhale. Big breath in, and then as you exhale, keep the brace on. Good, and then go again. Exhale. Okay, and then low back's connected. Really push that low back as you breathe in. Expand that belly. Big breath, exhale. Keep the brace on. And then go one more breath here. Neck is neutral, Yep. There we go. And then exhale, keep it on, all the way to the bottom of the breath, and let it go. Okay, catch a breather. Next portion of the series now, this is probably the most progressive version of this series that I would throw at Troy, is gonna be a breath with brace, march, right? I like to start off with swimmer's hands. So swimmer's hands is double hands, just like so. If you got a super friend, you say, just push into my hands here. But about 20% of engagement is about right, just enough to feel that torso engage, right? So hands are pushing into me. From here, now what he's gonna do as he's engaging the trunk and torso, he's gonna incorporate a march with the breath. So as he inhales, he's going to lower the leg while keeping the other side up, and then he exhales, and then he's going to alternate. Inhale, exhale. Right, so this is a marching sequence with trunk engagement here. If he doesn't have a super friend, you can get a resistance band. He can hold the edges of the band like so, put this around a post, and then he's getting engagement just like he had the swimmer's hand. Same deal here. Right, so now we're going to incorporate swimmer's march with the brace. Okay, so bracing here, ribs are down, push your hands into mine. Give me a little bit more of that. There we go, engage your lats. Good, just like that. Okay, and now incorporate the march with the breath. Big inhale as you brace, and big exhale, drive. Good. Okay, and then other side, big breath in, and then as you exhale, drive up. Good. And that's the bracing series, right? So we started off just finding the breath here in that hook lying, leg supported position, right? One hand on belly, one hand on chest, and we're just taking 4 breaths here. Remember, the sequence of the breath is belly rises first, chest then rises, and then we exhale and let it go. That's the first part of it. The second part, we incorporate the bracing series, right? So now, when we inhale, we can make C's on our hips here. Really breathe and push out into our hands. Create bracing into the hips, that intrapelvic pressure, right? And make sure all of our cues are in the right position, right? So ribs are down, neck is neutral. Then we take 4 breaths, inhale and exhale with the brace on. We remove the ball, we remove our support. Now we're supporting our own legs. We inhale and exhale with the brace for 4 breaths, and then we do the march. Inhale, exhale, right, with a little resistance, right? Whether it's a resistance band, whether it's a super fan with the swimmer's hands, right? We're inhaling as we lower, and we exhale as we come up. And that's the bracing series.